is talking about the way you're feeling. Are you having doubts? Days seem longer as the nights grow cold. For love to last, it takes heart and soul. Now trouble with emotions, knowing what to say. Seconds turn to hours turn to days. Tears upon the pillow, when my heart is filled with pain. The love is starting over, will never be the same. Now I'm all alone with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Heart and soul. Girl, you need to know how you tore my world apart. Didn't give enough. Heart and soul. Staring out your window as the rain turns to snow, like a rose in the water. Has it left flow? Like the seasons always changing, the cool spirit takes the time. Like a rhyme without a reason, I need to change your mind. Now I'm all alone with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Heart and soul. Girl, you need to know how you tore
Hey, wedge sandwich. Now I'm all alone with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Heart and soul. Girl, you need to know it's how you tore my world apart. Thank you for the ice cream. Whoever that was, I can't see it. Ah, that was Daryl. Thank you. All right, let's see what happens here. Oh, we're here. I switched to Streamlabs OBS off of XSplit, so if things are going wrong, let me know. I have no clue. I tried to test it. We'll see. Seemed to be fine. But you never know. All right, guys, what do you think? What do you think's happening? Don't forget about our DLive 500 contest. We get to 500. We are going to give away 2 t-shirts, 1 large JJ Stoner Midget Wednesday t-shirt, child size, and a Winning TV shirt from the Winning TV store on Teespring. So, don't forget about that. Share it out. We'll see what happens. we'll give away 2 T-shirts. One winning TV shirt, winning TV T-shirt, or a Speakeasy shirt, or a Mega Promises Kept shirt. No, Promises Kept shirt. We dropped the Mega part. Hey, Kitty B. Hey, Gina. Hey, Daryl. Evil Ian. With Doc on one breast or myself on the other facing inward, and I apologize if I'm tired. I am shot. I was up all night looking at the internet, of course, and then worked all day. So I should be sleeping now, but I'm here. So, all right, guys. What do you think's going to happen? I'll admit it. I'm nervous. I'm not a trust the plan guy. I'm not a Q guy. Yes, Kitty B, right. The Promises Kept shirt is Doc Martin on one breast, myself on the other breast facing inward. That's how tired I am. I even forgot that. Okay, so what do you think? I'm at 50-50 right now. Kitty B says Joe's going to be dead before Christmas. And Pelosi, well, you forgot about Kamala there. Kamala will be president and Pelosi will be vice president, right? She'll pick Pelosi or AOC or one of the squad will be vice president, right? Okay, so, I think a couple days ago I was 25-75, Trump's going to get in. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, maybe it's 50-50. But I know people aren't going to like this, but I'm not a trust the plan guy. In fact, I don't think Trump. Let's put it this way. Trump was aware of the potential for fraud with the mail-in ballots, like I, said on several scopes, several weeks, that it could happen. Number one, you've got mail-in ballots, and you've got the USPS who endorsed Biden in charge of the ballots. What do you think is going to happen? Not rocket science, right? So, Trump may have been aware there could be fraud, but I'm of the personal opinion that he did not let it happen on purpose. And I know Tracy Beans, on who I follow, and she's very good at what she does on Twitter, is saying the same thing. Did Trump really allow voter fraud to happen to expose it? Or was he aware voter fraud could happen and it happened and now he has to fight it? I don't think he allowed it to happen on purpose. I thought he gave quite a few warnings. Don't do it. But they did it anyway. Right? That makes sense to me. What do you think out there? I think that Trump knew it could possibly happen, like we all thought with mail-in ballots, but that he was hoping they wouldn't do it, and they did it. So now he's fighting the battle of, okay, I knew it was going to happen, now I have to fight against it. Does that make sense to you? That makes more sense than He knew it was happening and allowed it to happen. I'll give you a couple of minutes to ponder that. And I don't know what happened to our music. Muzak, where'd it go? See, some things aren't working. Ah, there it is. There we go. Victor Von Schroom, who's going to be on, I hope, on Thursday nights with me, because we like to get into the weeds and discuss and go back and forth, and I think it's an awesome time. So Thursday night, I expect Victor to be on. Hopefully, Discord's working. If not, I'll resolve it right on air. Very professional of me, but we'll figure it out. So it'll be Phil and Victor on Thursday nights at 6:30. Victor Von Schroom or the Schroommeister. I'll be available. Did I win the election yet? So to me, it makes sense. And Victor is probably saying the same thing, I think. Is that he may have known it was going to happen. Like, I did. I mean, I was saying, holy shit. You know, the post office in charge of mail-in ballots. And then there's a lot of other issues, like Pennsylvania can vote 4 days after the election, which is unconstitutional. Congress decides that, or the legislature in Pennsylvania decides that, and they didn't. It was a spirit of the moment thing, which you can't do. You can't circumvent election law by saying, oh, this time we're just going to do this. It didn't work with the Russian crap being right, so why does it matter if it's a fix like an industrial size? I'm not sure where you're going with that, Daryl, but to me, I think Trump was aware that they were going to do it. It happened, and now he's fighting the uphill battle of proving it. Now, the government agency, CISA, if they have concrete evidence, and I know a couple people have said, my co-host on Saturday night has said the timing has to be exactly right. Joe Biden has been declared by the media, I realize this, the president-elect. He's starting his transition team. Republicans, 30 of them, have told Trump to concede. Is the timing right now? At some point, Trump has to come out and show everybody. Because the left is celebrating. My neighbors who voted for Biden are in New York, but central New York, are celebrating. Hallelujah! Joe's won. Orange bastard's gone. It's over. At some point, if you have evidence, you have to show it. I disagree with Doc Martin on this vehemently. If you have evidence, release it. There is no perfect time. Half the country believes Joe Biden is the new president. Half the country says, no, he's not. Are you going to wait until it's far too late and the left starts rioting to prove a point? What point? What point does that prove? They're going to riot regardless. If Trump had outright won with no fraud, they would riot. This makes no sense to me. The entire scheme of
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Boogie Bumper, thank you for the diamond. Have you fully taken your black pill now? Just about. I'm not Mersh black pilled, but pretty damn close. At what point do we say, okay, it's time to release everything? If you have the evidence, do we wait until Joe Biden's inaugurated? I just don't get this. Timing has to be right. He's been announced by the media as the president-elect. So that, to me, would be the right time. I mean, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we have to go through the entire court process, and then what? They have. Victor Von Schroom, I think, is slightly disagreeing with me. The only reason why Trump is waiting because he knew his enemies in the Republican Party and the media would show their colors. They have. Okay? Today, 30 Republicans defected from Trump and said, concede. So now, what's the problem? If you have everything, now what are you waiting for? The media, Boogie Bumper makes a good point. Is this real? Is it Trump just to... There are obvious problems with our election. There are. I mean, glaring problems. Dead people voting. Glitches in the system. But the problem is the media today is still saying election fraud is unproven. It's unproven. They keep saying it. Today, they're saying it on the radio, on the internet. You guys are just It's President-elect Joe Biden. Why don't you unite with us? Victor Von Schroom, this might turn into an actual Emperor Trump due to the media and Democrats' own doing. Yeah, the media calling the presidential race is unprecedented. When there's lawsuits going, there's a lot of weird shit going on. And I'm not going to deny that. There's a lot of weird shit going on. If you look at Richard Barris on Twitter and on YouTube, he's finding all kinds of crazy stuff that went on. In fact, Gateway Pundit found that a glitch created 13,000 Biden votes when they belonged to Trump. Now Trump's only down 1,000. Yes, I'm not questioning there's obvious stealing or something to that effect going on. But if he's got evidence, is the timing right now? Because you got half the country going, Joe Biden is president. Let him have his transition team, right? Let him have his transition. The media's called it. Everybody knows Joe's the winner. And we'll get into that. Because it's not going to be good under Joe Biden. We know that. We knew that. But think about it. My biggest question is, if Trump knew everything and has everything, what's he waiting on? And Boogie again with a valid point. We were told the timing has to be just right to put people in, and I never thought people were going to Gitmo because I'm not a Q follower, Q reader. I peruse it, if you will. And a lot of it makes sense. A lot of it I don't believe. And that's fine. But the timing was supposed to be just right to arrest people like John Brennan, Clapper, Comey. They're still on CNN right now telling us that Trump is a fat dotard who won't give up. And he's hindering the peaceful transfer of power. They're still walking free. Durham hasn't done squat. So you'll have a Victor Von Schroom. I think all we're waiting for is the Antifa BLM explosion. If you turn around and say Trump really won tomorrow, there'll be an explosion. Trust me. And it'll be huge. And I said this on Saturday night. It can't go on for more than a week. Americans have the attention span of a gnat. Okay? Right now, Americans are going, Joe won. It's over. And they're moving on. They're not political junkies like we are. Like people in the chat are. So, if you got something, what are you waiting on? You know, I maybe I'm wrong. You know, I listened to Thomas Wichter on YouTube the last couple of days saying that Trump is doing the rope-a-dope. Who's that lawyer on TV? Ironside guy. You know, he's doing the rope-a-dope and going to have the aha moment in court. Exactly, Boogie. Do you need a civil war and terror attacking to prove the left is bad? They've been doing it all summer. All summer long, they've been burning shit down, attacking people at restaurants. That's like a proven point now at this point, right? What are we doing? Mr. Brightside, you know, he always had the big moment in court. The guy who played Ironside, good God, I can't remember that show. Black and white show. The lawyer who always, at the end, came up with the big aha moment in court. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Is it Matlock? No, not Matlock. It's the guy in the wheelchair. He played Ironside. A detective in a wheelchair. Oh, Matlock is close, Victor Von Schroom. I think in Boogie Bumper, I think in Wisconsin it's now 1,000 votes, which is possible. You could have 1,000, 500 dead people that voted, and you could have 500 invalid ballots, and Trump wins by 1 or 2. Golden Girls. No, it wasn't the Golden Girls. Although the guy kind of looked like B. Arthur. The Golden Girls. Now I gotta look it up. So, he's got to win Pennsylvania. Exactly, Boogie. Without Pennsylvania, the hell with it. It's over. Iceman says 10K. Yeah, Raymond Burr. There you go. There's the name. What black and white show was Raymond Burr in? Orson Welles. No, it wasn't Orson Welles. Raymond Burr was the guy. He played Ironside. Good job, Regina. You got it. And it's Perry Mason. There you go. The Perry Mason moment where he always said, at the end of the trial or near the end of the trial, came up with some fantastical evidence that freed his client. Perfect. That's perfect. So, is that what we're waiting for? The Perry Mason moment? Now, if the government agency, CISA, has irrefutable evidence that Trump won and ballots are invalid and there was cheating going on, where are they? Why aren't they going and arresting people? Or sending the FBI to arrest people? Remember, Thomas Wichter said it was under the Department of Homeland Security. It's a national security threat, right? I'm just wondering, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Trump has it in the bag. But so far, I'm 50-50 right now. It's Tuesday, okay? What are you waiting on? If you've got irrefutable evidence that the Democrats cheated, what are we waiting on? Joe's been called the president-elect. He's getting calls from foreign leaders. And that's another thing, which... This morning they were still putting the head of the FBI on trial over the Flint investigation. Maybe they're waiting for that to end. But you gotta move soon because it's November 10th. Exactly. I think I said that at the beginning. Are we going to expose them all after Joe Biden is standing on the steps of the White House being inaugurated? I mean, is that the right timing to shock the world? Right now you've got foreign leaders calling Joe Biden, congratulating, including think about it. Who else called Joe Biden after Donald Trump bent over backwards for the son of a bitch? Benjamin Netanyahu. Do you know why? Donald Trump did everything he could to help Netanyahu. Gore v. Bush was 37 days was Gore v. Bush. Magically, the media forgot about that entire fiasco, which went on for 37 days. Now they're saying he's impeding Joe Biden's administration by dragging this out and not conceding. Didn't matter when Gore did it, right? I understand that. Netanyahu. Anti-Semitism. Yep. And I'm an anti-Semite. Who the hell called Joe Biden after Donald Trump bent over backwards for his country, got him 3 peace deals? The election's not certified, right? It's not officially President-elect Joe Biden yet. The media decided that that's not constitutionally factual, okay? The media could say whatever the hell the media wants. Joe Biden is not the president-elect as of right now. That's a fact. But good old Benny got on the phone. Yes, I'd like to congratulate Joe Biden. Yes, Joe. Congratulations, my old friend. Are we going to go start bombing the Middle East again? When are we going to kill some Muslims together, my brother? That was quick, wasn't it? That was quick. The Israelis wanted peace, but now I don't think they do. As long as the United States is using drones and aircraft to bomb and kill Muslims, the Israelis are like, yay! That'll keep them away from us. Sorry, but Donald Trump got had by Jared Kushner and Netanyahu. Netanyahu is a Republican. He is. That's what he is. As long as war is going on in the Middle East, Netanyahu is all for it. Well, because Victor von Troom says the irony is that even the Islamic Emirates in Afghanistan is rooting for Trump to win the election. Yeah, because they don't want their countries blowing up. We were moving in the right direction in the Middle East. One country after another was, okay, I'll sign a peace agreement. We'll have normalized relations. That's all gone now if Joe Biden is president. He already stated, I think on Saturday, that we're going to go back to the policies of past administrations regarding the Middle East. What does that mean? We're sending troops back. Yeah. We're sending troops back to the Middle East. We're going to go into Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq. We're going to send troops everywhere. We're going to start drone striking, create another ISIS, have another perpetual problem in the Middle East when it virtually disappeared in 4 years. Iceman, what's there to jump to judgment on? He called Biden and said, "Thank you, my long-standing friend, Joe Biden. I know you will have Israel's back when you start droning Syria, Iraq, Iran, and you'll suck Iran's dick. We love that." At this point, I'm like, whatever. Maybe the Israeli people are like us, thinking, yay, peace. Not anymore. Guaranteed, if Joe Biden is in the Middle East, we will have more wars. Congratulations, America. We're back in the Middle East. Back to killing Muslims for Benji Netanyahu. And we'll be killing a lot of Muslims, trust me. In the name of peace, and we need to westernize the Middle East. It's a second Arab Spring. Congratulations. And Netanyahu will back it 100%. Oh, well. Yeah, Evil Eric, the office of president-elect is not a real thing. It's just a courtesy. And Trump is fighting to try to overturn a few states that there are some glaring irregularities in. And I don't blame him. Anybody should. There's dead people voting. There's glitches in the software. He has the right to fight it. And I'm not saying he doesn't. Never did. The problem is, if Trump has a master plan, he better implement that shit now. What are you waiting on? The timing is right now because world leaders are looking to Joe Biden now. They're talking to Joe Biden on the phone. What are we waiting on now? Am I wrong? What are we waiting on? In fact, Evil Eric, we don't want recounts. If you're gonna try to catch the fraud, then you better have ballot audits. That's the way you catch fraud and throw out fraudulent ballots. If he asks for a recount, it's going to be a waste of time. He wants ballot audits. That's what his lawyer should be asking for, an audit of the ballots. That way, if somebody didn't sign a ballot, in the trash it goes. If dead people voted, it goes away. Just a recount will net you the same amount of votes. They're not scrutinizing voter rolls with ballots, if that makes sense. A ballot audit will net Trump votes if dead people voted for Joe. I don't know. We'll see. I am not one of these people who think there's a... I think Trump is trying to do the best he can, but I don't think there is a master plan. I think he realized there could be fraud, talked about it, tried to warn them not to do it, but I don't think he allowed it to happen to expose it. I think Trump looked at it and said, okay, now I'm going to have to fight this. I lost. They did the fraud. You know, I didn't think they would try it, but they're doing it. I mean, here is Here we go. This is how you're being, I don't know, gaslighted. Voter fraud of any kind is exceedingly rare in the U.S. This is on Twitter, trending at the top. This is on Twitter at the top of the trending. What's happening now? Voter fraud of any kind is exceedingly rare in the U.S. If it's under a certain percentage, like 1%, there should be an automatic recount. Evil Eric, that's most of the states have that law, an automatic recount if it's a less 1% or less. Or some states it's 3%. I think in New York. Oh, Gina, you're off of Twitter. A lot of people are now. I don't know. What do you think? Do you guys give me a 1? I know we're losing people because people don't want to hear anything but certain things. Certain alphabet letters told them that this was a movie you're watching. It's not a movie. I hate that phrase more than anything. You're watching a movie. My friends losing their businesses and not being able to pay their bills is not a fucking movie. Stop with that. It's not watching a movie. People have killed themselves. That's not a movie. Okay? Stop with that. Stop. It's not right. Stop saying that. That's not watching a movie. People killing themselves, losing their homes, can't feed their kids. That's not watching a movie. God, I hate that. That's one of my pet peeves. I've seen these tweets out there. People's lives are being destroyed for a movie, for your entertainment, for someone's Stop. Just stop that. Stop. We're not watching a movie. This is real life. Real people are being affected by it. Am I wrong? I mean, I got friends and on Twitter and on the shows that say that you're watching a movie. I don't like that. Don't say that. I disagree with that. People's lives are being destroyed because remember, we're still in New York. They're going back to lockdowns. People's businesses are gone. They can't pay their bills. People are being fined for not following the rules as politicians and his sycophant fans are out in the street celebrating a Joe Biden victory on Saturday. That's not a movie to people. That's not watching a movie. That's not being part of a movie. That's someone's life being destroyed. And if you have the evidence and you can stop all of this, what are you waiting on? That's my point. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it pisses people off. But there's 5 food banks in my county now. We've always had one for, the drug addicts and the prostitutes or whatever. We got 5 in my county now. Food banks. That's not watching a movie to people with kids who did nothing wrong. If you got the evidence, I'm imploring. Here's what I'll do. I'll implore Donald Trump. Release it. What are you waiting on? People are literally dying because of COVID restrictions right now. Not because they have it, not because they had it, not because of anything but their business is closed. They can't feed their kids, they can't pay their bills. It's not a movie, Mr. Trump. If that's what's going on, because we're told we're watching a movie. No, we're not. Real people I know are struggling so bad right now in New York. They're struggling really badly right now. If you got the evidence, stop waiting. Are you going to wait until January 20th when Joe Biden's standing in front of the White House? Or actually the back of the White House. Being sworn in? Is that the time for the plan? I don't know. You tell me. I'm starting to get a little frustrated now. I'm starting to get a little frustrated with watching people going, everything's fine, Trump's going to win. Based on what? Based on what? Yes, I agree. There's a lot of irregularities, a lot of glitches, and it should be investigated, fought. He should fight in 7 states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, even North Carolina, even if you want it, Arizona, and Nevada. He should fight in every one of those states to try to overturn or look into the results. Who voted? Are they dead? Is it a real vote? Is it somebody that lives here still? That's perfectly fine and within his rights to do it. But if you've got some secret sauce that you're holding on so that you can wow the world, I think we're like a day past that. But first we got to play it out in the courts, and then the plan unfolds. Come on, guys. If you had the secret sauce, we're like, what? It's a week now? Past the election? Remember, most Americans who aren't watching shows, aren't on Twitter, aren't on Facebook, doing political stuff, watching everything, paying attention, which is probably about 35 to 40% of the country, everybody's moving on. They believe Joe won. Okay, the left believes Joe won. Most Americans are going, oh, we're screwed, but I got to go to work, right? Remember, Americans who are not paying attention have the attention span of a gnat. Most people don't, well, I still got to go to work and pay my bills. If you can work in New York State right now, because they're back to locking down again. Look at Minnesota is announcing new COVID restrictions. New York State is announcing COVID restrictions again in certain counties. Here we go again. Is the time right now? If you're going to do something, do it now. We did a show that night, election night, okay? Donald Trump was up by about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to recall because I'm still trying to recover from Tuesday night. But 2 o'clock in the morning, they stopped counting in Michigan. Trump was up about 600,000 votes in Michigan. 2 o'clock, Pennsylvania stopped counting. Trump was up by, I'm just going to say a couple 100,000 votes. He was up by, well, maybe 4 or 5% in Georgia. North Carolina, he was up about 3 or 4%. They all stopped counting. Arizona, yes, this is odd. Why did the states that would have put Trump over the top all stop counting at the same time? Now, Arizona would have been, instead of 2 o'clock, it would have been, what, midnight or 1 a.m.? That's never happened before. Is it shady as hell? Yes, it's shady. Jason, I'm still a Trump supporter. I hope he wins. I'm just putting to everybody in the chat that maybe it wasn't some grand scheme to allow it to be stolen so he could prove something. That logically, that makes no sense. I think he was aware of the possibility of cheating with mail-in ballots, like we all were. I did shows on this. I did shows showing how could you have the USPS in charge of handling ballots when they endorsed Biden. That's just insane. That's like giving the cat, the rat, the cheese before you put it in the trap. I mean, but I think Trump was hoping they wouldn't do it. Now that they did it, it's an uphill battle to try to prove it. And if the CISA has evidence that there was cheating, where the hell are they? I know Thomas Wichter brought that up, but where are they? How come they aren't coming out going, boom, we've got it right here? Now you're starting to see like Boogie Bumper on Daily Boogie. By the way, watch Boogie Bumper at 6:30 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for some terrific insight. Oh, fellow 29 Jason, I'm just putting together some scenarios. Hope he wins must be the wrong channel looking for winning TV, not so much the fence sitter. Whatever. Bye. I don't give a fuck. I can have an opinion too. And if I don't have your opinion that Trump's going to win and there's a magical fucking plan that Trump's going to win, then I'm out. Fuck this. I'm out of here because you're a fence sitter. I said I hope Trump wins. I'm just putting together some scenarios. If you don't like it, then fucking bye. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with people? You're out of MAGA. You're out of MAGA. Okay, fine. Bye. I'm out of MAGA. I don't give a fuck anymore. That's just retarded bullshit. Whatever. That's just bullshit. You're not MAGA. You're not a Trump supporter if you're putting together some scenarios. I'm just saying Trump didn't know about the fraud. He knew about it, that it could happen, but he wasn't watching it in real time going, we got the son of a bitches now. That's all. And now he's got an uphill battle to prove it. What's wrong with that? What the fuck? I don't understand people. You can't question anything? Wow, this is like... Maybe we deserve this shit. Because I question with boldness. Even the Thomas Jefferson quote is my favorite quote of all time. Question with boldness. Go look it up. even the very existence of God, for if there shall be one, then he'd more appreciate the homage of. Come on, guys. You can't act like Trump is a god and knows everything, and he's got this grand master plan for everything. Things happen. Things change. Trump's made some mistakes. Vaping is a perfect one, where he said, oh yeah, ban vaping. Everybody said, hey, Trump, don't do that. I think you're wrong. You shouldn't do that. And he backed off on it. Because he's a human being. He's not God. Good grief. I thought this was... come on, guys. You got to game plan other scenarios out that he's not a god.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Thank you for the diamond.
I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Thank you for the diamond, Ben K. Veritas. Will the media concede the presidency? Apparently, they decide, so probably. Thank you for the ice cream wet sandwich. I mean, come on, guys. I'm just spitballing here. I'm not fence-sitting. I hope Trump wins. I've said that. Don't get... I'm leaving because you're not MAGA anymore. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? That's just insane to believe that. You've got to... I look at it as Trump's a man. He's not God. He's not an emperor. He doesn't know everything. He makes mistakes. Because he's human, like all of us. He had hoped that there wouldn't be fraud. He had said several times, don't do it. But I'm of the mind, and this is my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. If you want to be a leftist and say, you're not on our team, fuck you, then fine. I don't know what to tell you. I think he sat there on election night hoping they wouldn't do it, and they did it. So now he's got to prove it. And if he's, what's he waiting on? If he's got it all, what's he waiting on? You got to kick some ideas around. You can't sit here and say Trump knew it all, and he's just waiting for the precise moment to launch it. No, I think he's a fighter, and he's trying to fight through this thing. That the fraud happened, a lot of irregularities happened, a lot of glitches happened.
Like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Thank you for the ice cream, Gina. And he's just trying to fight his way through this. Could it be just that? Could it be that he's not always playing 5D chess? Could it be he's, like I saw it, I saw mail-in balloting and ballot harvesting as a bad idea. A very bad idea. And allowing the post office to control it was an even worse idea. Everybody saw that coming. Everybody saw that coming. So I just don't. I'm with Tracy Beans, and Tracy Beans is a top-notch researcher, right? Everybody would agree with that. Tracy Beans is a top-notch researcher. She followed Q for a while, okay? Backed off of it. She's not Q, by the way. I think anybody realizes she's not Q. But even she is saying the same thing, and I'll bring it up for you, folks. She's saying she doesn't believe Trump allowed the election to be stolen on purpose. so that he can catch the bad guys. I think Trump realized that voting fraud could happen with mail-in ballots and the USPS in charge of those ballots. Hoped they wouldn't do it, and they did it anyway. That makes more logical sense to me. Does it not? Maybe I'm wrong. How you doing, Becca? Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. And fellow 29 J said, I'm not angry with you. I just don't like the fact that if you question anything, that I was in the Tea Party. I was a Tea Party leader. They're trying to start the Tea Party again. I'm against that. Because you know what happens when you start a group like that? The Republicans will come in and take over again. Because money talks and bullshit walks. That's what happened with the original Tea Party. $1 million donation fucked up the Tea Party. Ended it. All it took was $1 million to end the Tea Party. That's a fact. Go look it up. The second they took that $1 million, it was over. There was no more Tea Party. They were beholden to the Republicrats. That's just a fact. That's the truth. And then you had to suck up and take it for Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan. That's exactly what happened. Because it's what they always do. You start another party like that, a Tea Party 2.0, guess where it's going to go? Nowhere. Because some Republican will slink his way in there, slip the right person the money, and they'll do their bidding. It's what happened with the original Tea Party. That thing should have taken off, and it would have taken off if they didn't take the money. And they did. Tell me I'm wrong. What happened to the original Tea Party? It wasn't that they were, being called racist and homophobic. Trump supporters have been called that for 4 years, 5 years. And there's 71 million of us now, right? Think about it. The Tea Party 2.0, where's it going to end up at? It's going to end up Donald Trump lost, and we'll just have to get a new candidate and move forward. Here's $1 million to shut your mouths. That's what's going to happen. It happened the last time. Trump is a very, very smart guy. And I think he's going to fight it all the way to the end. But right now, I'm just like, I was hopeful, I'm hopeful that enough votes get thrown out from dead people, and because that's not a way to run an election. It's not. You can't have dead people voting. You can't have people who aren't alive voting. But I'm not going to come here and give you Trump's going to win. It's over. Don't worry. There is some worry. And you should be, if you're on this show or you're on other shows and you're on the internet paying attention, you're doing 90% more than 40% of the country right now. Right? That would be a fair assessment, right? Anybody like Gina, Reggie, Becca, follow 29's JSOD, Boogie Bumper, Iceman, Kitty B. You guys are on the internet right now. What's 40% of the country doing? Watching, I don't know, reruns of The Walking Dead right now? playing video games. They're on Facebook posting, selfies or pictures of their kids. More than 40%, probably, but I'm being generous. I'm saying 40% of the country isn't even watching the news. Joe won. On with life. That's why I'm saying, if you've got something, lay out your cards now. They've already announced Joe the winner on the media. The world is congratulating him. What more timing is better than now? That's all I'm saying. Because, on Saturday, I know Doc Martin's a huge Q supporter, and I love Doc Martin. Don't get me wrong. But I disagree with her on a lot of things. And I said, and you can go back and look at the shows, I said several months ago, if on Speakeasy, if Donald Trump comes out in October during the campaign and says, I need 4 more years to drain the swamp, and nobody of significance has been arrested, that it was going to be a very close election. And there's a chance he could lose. I said that, and Doc actually agreed with me. I said that quite a few months ago. You can go back in the archives and look on, I don't think those shows are on BitChute, but you can go back in Periscope and look.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Thank you for the diamond, Coffee Talk with Sandra. Don't forget to watch Coffee Talk with Sandra on DLive and Periscope, I believe. She's on every night, I think about 9 o'clock Eastern. Hey, Christy. So, does that make sense to you? I mean, my thought was, if nobody like a Brennan or a Clapper or even Comey or Peter Strzok or Lisa Page was arrested by October and Trump had to beg for votes to drain the swamp, to continue draining the swamp, if none of those people were arrested, even one of them, that it would be an uphill climb. I'm not trying to say I was right, but that I've been watching politics for a long time. And if he had something to back up during the campaign and say, hey, look, that Peter Strzok was arrested, it would have been an easier hill to climb. But walking out in October and saying, I need 4 more years to get him behind bars. Oh, Boogie Bumper says, my 40% is low. It's more like 70% of the country is watching TV or playing video games or on their cell phone, not paying attention at all. It could be. Probably like 70%. Only wackos like me and Boogie Bumper, my bromosexual friend there, Boogie Bumper, dig into the dirty details like on election night. Most people were probably bored when I was going, let's look at the Oneida County results and the percentages, because sometimes you got to dig into the weeds. We'll put it out to the chat. I know there's not many people out there, but that's fine. I don't care. Let's put it out to the chat. Does that make sense to you that if Trump didn't have a significant arrest, at least one, I'm not saying all of them, Brendan Clapper, whoever else, at least one arrest in October, and he had to ask for 4 more years to drain the swamp, that was a bad thing? Do you not agree? Do you not agree? I mean, we keep hearing that, yeah, they're all going to get arrested. There's indictments out there, but nobody's been arrested. It's after Election Day now. Nobody's been arrested. Because they are covering for themselves, saying, Donald Trump, we're going to get rid of him. Even if they cheat, they get rid of him. Even if it's proven they cheated, they get rid of him. Nobody gets arrested. Hunter Biden is still walking free. The guy's naked with underage girls. Doesn't matter. Right? The guy, I said this a couple weeks ago. If Hunter Biden, if I was in a photograph naked with a 14-year-old in my presence, my ass would be sitting in a cell right now. Some people are trying to say that it's not Hunter, and good friends of mine. I love them. But they're trying to say it's a body double. That Hunter's sitting in prison right now. My opinion only, I don't believe that. I think that was Hunter Biden on the stage. I think that when they planned it out and all of this stuff happened, that they're going to say Trump is a loser, Joe's in, Hunter's never going to see a day in jail no matter what this guy did. Now, if it was me and I was in a photograph with a 14-year-old and I was stark buck-ass naked, my ass would be sitting in a cell right now, as well as 99% of this chat right now. Females included. If you're in a photo with somebody that's 14 years old and you're naked and it's not your kid, you're going to prison. That was over a year ago that the FBI had this information. That would be considered, and you'd have to be signed up for a list, right? You get put on a list, a pedophilia list. You can't go near schools. You can't live near a school within 3 miles of a school. It's getting to the point where if he's got Ben K. Veritas, there you go. That's what I'm trying to drive at tonight. Is it crunch time? Yes. Is it over yet? No. No. I'm not saying it's over. I'm just saying if you got the secret-ass sauce that people are saying you do, you better lay it out pretty soon because, again, 70%, and I'll go with Boogie's number, I'll go in between. I'll say 60% of the country has the attention span of a gnat. They've already moved on. Biden won. And it's over for them. So if you want to shock people, you got by Friday. I'm telling you, by Friday, if there's nothing different than what we're talking about today and what we're seeing today, if by Friday nothing significant happens, it's over, right? Would you not agree? Because you go beyond Friday, you're getting into the next week. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. Oh, and Wet Sandwich says in North Carolina, but you're still on that registry for 10 years. I mean, if you were in a photo with a 14-year-old Wet Sandwich, and you may not spend jail time, but you're going to be on the sex offender roll for 10 years. Hunter Biden is in photos. I don't know about the videos. I haven't seen them. But Hunter Biden is in photos with 14-year-olds, and he's naked. And he's still walking free. I mean, come on, man. You know, if Trump does pull it off and does win and gets Pennsylvania, if he gets Pennsylvania, Joe is not the winner any longer, I think. because Arizona has yet to be called officially. They're assuming Joe won Arizona. And Joe, you take away Pennsylvania's got like, I think it's 259. I could be wrong, give or take a point or two. So if Trump does manage to get a ballot audit, which I think is what they're asking for. Don't ask for a recount. I don't think they've asked for any recounts because that's useless. They're going to come up with the same numbers. You need a ballot audit, which takes a lot longer. It's not a recount. It'll take forever to do a ballot audit to match up the ballots against the rolls, which is the only hope he has in Pennsylvania right now. I don't think causing a riot if Trump is given Pennsylvania and Biden is no longer, there's no reason to make the left look bad with riots anymore at this point. I mean, I think everybody pretty much gets it. Even my aunt and mother who are left of center.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Yeah. Follow Q, thank you for the ice creams. Even my aunt and mother who are left of center both agree Black Lives Matter and the left doing that, they're sick of it. In fact, one of them said, fuck Black Lives Matter. They're sick of it. So you're not proving a point. Even the left of center Democrats are going, yeah, Black Lives Matter. Get that shit away. We got to stop that stuff. So you're not proving a point to reasonable Democrats. The point's already been proven to them. So again, I'm back to the quagmire of I'm at 50-50 that Trump could win, could lose, depends on what happens in the court. If he gets a ballot audit, my opinion, a ballot audit is the best way to go. Hopefully his attorneys are smart enough to ask for that, because a ballot audit is the only way he's going to win. They can go through and say, dead person, doesn't live in Pennsylvania. That may garner him more than enough votes. Boogie Bumper. If you're about to be arrested for public nudity, just walk into a library and start dancing in front of the children. Oh, that's pretty, yeah, you can do that now, apparently. They will punish you if you have a picture of you supporting Trump. Yeah, that's... See, the left, there is no quarter going to be given to Trump supporters. There is zero quarter, okay? All the talk of, I will unite the country. If Joe wanted to unite the country, he would have come out and told AOC to knock it off. And what she's doing is wrong. And who's that rotten wretch on Twitter? New York Times reporter. What she's doing is wrong. We need to burn the Republican Party to the ground and all the Trump supporters. But Joe's not doing it. Where is he? He's the great uniter, remember? We're going to unite the country. I'll get the country back together. But he's allowing Jennifer Rubin, that's her name, and AOC to say the most ludicrous things on Twitter. And Joe's nowhere to be found. Because this is it. This is it. Joe's not in charge. Because if Joe was in charge, he would have at least come out and said, what AOC said, I don't agree with. Let's come together. Let's not put people on lists. Let's stop talking that way. We're not going to go after Trump supporters. Nobody should go after the person they voted for, but he's not. He's not. Think about that. Why is Joe Biden not saying a word to the left? Because he's not in charge. He won't be in charge. They are going to go full retard if Joe's in charge in January. It'll be a full, big time, every wish list leftist policy out there will be thrown out there as quickly and as fast as they can get it out there, and they will start slamming it home, and the media will back it all. Free health care. That's a right. That's a human right. Don't you care about children? Don't you care about your parents? Don't you care about your grandparents? Don't you want them to get their pussy checked? That's for you, Boogie. Don't you want your grandma to get her pussy checked? And Joe won't be anywhere to be found. It'll be Kamala working with AOC and Pelosi, and they'll ram it all through. They're going to bang, bang, bang by executive order. And by the time the Republicans some of the Republicans try to fight it at the Supreme Court, too late. Joe's already banging it through. It's going to be like, I can't even describe it. They're going to go as fast as they can. You hear what he said day one. We're back in the Middle East. We're back in the WHO. We're back in the climate accord in Paris. There was 5 things got rattled off today that he's going to do on day one. All by executive order. DACA is back. The Muslim ban from violent Muslim countries with terrorists, that's back. We're going to allow them in. They're going to try to change this country into a shithole as quickly as possible. So I don't want Joe to win. Believe me, my business relies on gas and oil. I want Trump to win. More than anything, trust me. If Biden does half of what he said he was going to do, I'm screwed. I'm going to be one of those people going to the food bank. Remember, I said in upstate New York, in my area alone, there's 5 food banks now when there was 1. We're up to 5 food banks here. They're gonna get rid of everything. That wall, Joe said he's taking it down. Anybody who comes from Mexico or South America is welcome to come. By then, it'll be too late to even change it. You can vote, but it'll be useless. You'll have 12 million illegals, maybe 18 million illegals voting. Because they'll become citizens overnight. Welfare, everything. All the benefits. So trust me, I'm just spitballing here about, did Trump know it was going to happen and was watching it happen in real time at some skiff and allowed fraud to happen so that he could catch people doing it? Or did Trump know it was going to happen like we all did with mail-in ballots, tried to warn them. It happened, and now he's fighting the battle of it happened. That makes more sense to me when Tracy said it than Trump saw it happening in real time and allowed it to happen. Does that make sense? Is that logical? That seems logical to me. And now he's fighting the uphill battle of proving it. Yeah, Joe Biden, Boogie Bumper in the chat, said he's going to ramp up immigration and refugee intakes. They're going to go, right, he's going to stick them in North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, any state that turned red, Texas. He's going to stick all those refugees in states where he can flip them blue. 100%. But we got to stop this mindset where you can't question anything. Or if you question it, you're off the train or you're not a Trump supporter, because that's just ludicrous. You got to stop doing that. We should question everything. That's a good thing. No matter who the president is. If the president was Jesus, I would question him. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. It's the way it should be. And if it was that way for the last 50 years, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in now. I was guilty of it too under George Bush. Yeah, go bomb those Muslims. Yeah, go revenge. We all were. Right? I was watching the Iraq War going, yeah, get to Baghdad. Take them out. Now I look back and go, holy shit. That was me? That's when Obama came around, I started questioning everything. Going, after Obama came in, I started thinking, Iraq was probably a mistake. We fucked up. We shouldn't have gone there. We should have left well enough alone. That's why you should always question everything. Vegas Patriot says Democrats have probably stolen every election. Look, I lived in Wilmington, Delaware, Joe Biden's home city, right? It was a running joke about Philadelphia when I was there 25 years ago. No Republican can win in Philadelphia. Everybody knew it. It was a running joke back then. So it's not like it's something new. It's been going on for a long time. And here's one thing I'll agree with Mersh on. Trump should have done something about Twitter about 2 years ago. He missed. See, that's why I'm saying Trump's a human being. He missed the ball on that, right? That's what I think. Trump missed the ball on that. He's a human being. He can't do everything. 2 years ago, Trump had the opportunity, or even 3 years ago when he had the House and the Senate, he had the opportunity to take out the problems we have with Twitter and Facebook. It was well known back then. He waited too long. It got to the point where it's so bad now, you can't say anything on Twitter without being banned. Well, as long as you say, kill the orange bastard, then you're fine and hold up a head, right? Trump didn't do anything for free speech. He screwed up on that. And that's okay. I'm not, he had the opportunity to do it. He missed the ball. He made a mistake. Should have done it soon instead of waiting. He waited too long. Now it's too late to do anything about it. And that's okay. People make mistakes. Trump's not infallible. I think we have to stop looking at him as some god, because he's not. We need to question everything. And fortunately, if you hammer him enough on something, he listens. One of the few politicians in this country who has ever listened to the people, like he did on vaping. He backed off on it when he got a lot of shit about it. At first, he's like, "Yeah, we need to ban this vaping. It's no good. It's very bad." And then enough people said, "Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing?" He backed off and said, "Well, we're going to look at it." That's one of the few politicians that backed off in my lifetime and has said, we're going to step back and look at it, right? So he's not infallible. He missed the ball on Twitter. And that's okay. He made a mistake. That's right, Christy. Trump is only human. He made a mistake. That's okay. But apparently, with some people, if you say he made a mistake, then you're not a supporter anymore. That's just not feasible in real life. Okay? And if we all started questioning even if it's your guy, their guy, I mean, we are quick to go after their guy for every little thing. We should also go after our guy for every little thing. We wouldn't be where we are today. Does that make sense? Now take my vape and I'll cap your ass. Christy. Yeah, I hope so. I'm hopeful that Vegas Patriots right. I think once Trump is reinstated, the hammer and indictments and arrests will fall. But I'm very hopeful that happens. But we've been told for 3 years now it's going to happen. It's coming. Pain is coming. And so far, I see a lot of bad guys walking free. And they are bad guys on both sides. There's a lot of bad Republicans, too. Trust me, I'm always been leery of the Republicans ever since the Tea Party fiasco. The second they took over the Tea Party, it was over. The Tea Party has been folded in to the Republican Party. And that's where the mistake happened. You take money from bad people, you get wrapped right into the bad people, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Oh, the pain came. LOL. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think I was right when I said that if Trump had Lisa Page or Peter Strzok or Brennan or Clapper or any one of that group in the Russian collusion fiasco, if he had any one of that group arrested and in jail before October, it would have absolutely solidified his position on the Russian collusion hoax, and the media would have been discredited big time. But I said walking out and coming out and saying in your campaign that I need 4 more years to fix it, it wasn't going to play well. Unfortunately, he got 71 million votes, which is unbelievable. What's even more unbelievable is that Biden got more. I still can't figure that one out. But we'll have to see what happens what plays out in the court. We'll just have to wait and sit and see what happens. If they come out and say Trump is the winner of Pennsylvania, and they come out and say he won Wisconsin, which is very close now. It's within 1,000 votes. And Georgia. That may be enough votes away from Biden, electoral votes away from Biden, and enough for Trump to win, or damn close. If he gets reelected, and he doesn't come out with both guns blazing, then I think hope of ever seeing anyone go to jail is over. You see, because if he doesn't win and they give it to Biden, none of those people will ever see jail time. Ever. Including his son, Hunter. None of them. Hunter, Joe, Romney's kid. I mean, there's a lot of shenanigans going on. None of these people will ever see jail time. It's just the way it is. They'll bury everything, destroy everything, and it'll be over. So you can't rely on Trump coming back in 2024 and getting it done. It's either now or never. And maybe I'm a little frustrated. I think there's a lot of people that are frustrated because before the election, I saw a lot of people on Twitter who are hardcore Trump supporters going, when is something going to happen? I'm tired of waiting. When's the timing right? It's frustrating watching people walk free as Manafort, Roger Stone, a bunch of other people are arrested. Yes, the evidence is there. There's enough evidence to arrest at least Peter Strzok, but he's still walking free. Maybe I'm a little more jaded than some of the people in the chat because I went through the whole Tea Party thing. It sucked. It sucked. You thought you were a part of a movement. You were going along. And I'm way more leery of things now than I was before, if that makes sense. I'm a lot more leery of... I worked fraud for 16 years, too. Worked fraud cases. So... I always look deeper into things than most people do. Maybe to my own detriment sometimes. But, again, it goes back to no matter who the president is. If it was, like I said, if it was Jesus himself, I would question something. Why is Jesus doing that? No, I don't agree with that. Why is just like when Trump said he was against executive orders, but he was writing them left and right. And I said, whoa, back up. That's not a constitutional republic. We don't have an executive just writing executive orders because you can't get it passed through Congress. Those are the things. And he stepped back and said something about it. I don't like doing these executive orders. Okay, I understand you're saying it, but stop doing it. You know? Because I knew the next president would come in and Joe Biden's going to do it. He's going to write an executive order saying DACA is legitimate. It's never passed through Congress. It's never been signed into law. But now Joe Biden's going to, if he steps in, and I'm not saying he's stepping in, but if Joe Biden steps in, now he's going to write an executive order saying DACA's legitimate. Even though it was never passed by Congress. I don't want a president that does that writes laws from his Oval Office, no matter who the president is. Even if Jesus was the president on January 20th and wrote an executive order saying all people are humans and there is no such thing as being illegal, I'm signing DACA into existence via executive order, I'd say, oh, no, you're not. That's not constitutional. We have to go through Congress with that. You can't just write an executive order and make people legal citizens with their pen and a phone. I think we can all agree on that. No matter who the president is, we should step in and say, no, you don't. I don't like that. Stop. We wouldn't be in the mess we're in. How do you think Obama got into Libya without a military authorization from Congress? Just write an executive order. We're going into Libya. Or the War Powers Act, which is complete and utter bullshit. The War Powers Act should only be used if we're attacked by a foreign country, not to go blow up some dictator in Libya because we just don't like him. Now Libya is a complete and utter shithole. Congratulations. We'll see what happens. I'm not losing faith or anything. I'm just spitballing some things that, you know, Trump's a human, and to look at him as a human, maybe we will have some more empathy about what he's going through right now. Because if you think he's a god and playing 5D chess and he's a master of everything, maybe we don't have empathy for how he's feeling right now. He's probably sitting there in the White House going, I know how you feel. I know they were going to cheat. I knew they were going to cheat. I warned them not to do it. They did it anyway. Now I got to go through all this bullshit of proving they cheated. If I was him, I'd be like, what the fuck? What now? Instead of thinking that Trump is sitting back going, okay, I'm running the controls here. Everything's 100% fine. I've got no worries. I'm going to win. Maybe Trump's not that way right now. So maybe if we have some empathy for how he feels right now, maybe if you go on Twitter, instead of going, fuck you, AOC, like I've been doing. Fuck you, AOC, like I've been doing. Maybe you go on Twitter and go, hey, Mr. President, you know, hang in there. I understand how you feel. Does that make sense? I mean, if you look at it from the perspective of he doesn't know everything all the time, and he puts on a brave exterior, but maybe in the White House he's sitting there going, I knew they were going to do this. You know, they did it anyway. I warned them not to. They did it anyway. Now I got to fight through all this crap now, through the courts and all this other crap to prove I won, which I believe I did. Does that make sense to you? So maybe go on Twitter and say, hey, Donald Trump, I got your back. Maybe stop fighting libtards for 5 minutes and going to Twitter and saying, yeah, I understand how you feel. Hang in there. He doesn't drink, so and I don't think he'll start over this. And remember, he's a billionaire, so if he loses, he doesn't really, it's not going to hurt him any, you know. He'll go back to his other life. But I think he really wants to be there to help. And that's what is probably making him feel worse. Because he was making good improvements on the economy, bringing back manufacturing, you know, fixing things, especially the VA. So maybe he'll just turn around, maybe he's turning around saying, I want to help people. I want to do the best I can. And maybe, I think we've got this or a lot of people, and even I had it at the beginning, this impression that Trump is some god and is infallible and is playing 5D chess all the time. He's a human. Maybe he's not God. Maybe he's not infallible. Maybe he's not always playing 5D chess. So, looking at it from that perspective, he's a very smart guy. Don't get me wrong. Yes, he's read The Art of War, but maybe not everything is the art of war. And maybe he's sitting in the White House going, I wanted to help people, and they cheated it away from me, and now I got to go through all this fighting to help people and get the economy back rolling like I had it a year ago. So if you look at it from that perspective, maybe you go to Twitter and you go, say some kind words to him, maybe. On his Twitter feed. Maybe he'll... Because he can't be just sitting here going, I've got this. I'm going to win. It's over. No, he's got to have some doubts. He's only human. Yeah, exactly. I brought that up earlier. I really pissed about that. I sent a message to Revenge of the Sis today saying that Jared Kushner ate the bris, and now it's Benji stuck it up Trump's ass. Isn't that awesome? Thank you. Thank you, Israel. For everything Donald Trump did for you. You turn around and go, Joe Biden's my best friend now. Fuck you, Netanyahu. That's all I got to say. That's just gross. Netanyahu's gross. He's just another neocon. He's just happy that somebody's going to be in the White House is going to bomb the shit out of the Middle East again. That's all he cares about. The guy's never wanted a peace deal. He just wants to bomb the hell out of everybody. At this point, how do you even come up to this? Congratulating Biden, knowing that Biden is not the official president-elect? That's a lot of balls. Trump's got to be sitting there going, gee, thanks, Netanyahu. All the things I did for you, now you just stuck it up my ass? Thank you. I'm sorry, and it might piss people off, but Benjamin Netanyahu is probably a corrupt bastard, too. I mean, he's been under investigation for many issues, and he's gotten away with it. He kind of reminds me of some of the politicians in the United States. I mean, come on. Dianne Feinstein had a Chinese spy working for her for 20 years. Nothing happened to her. Netanyahu was doing a little, I don't know if it was money laundering or something shady with money. And that investigation went away. Because the same thing, Andrew Cuomo here. Once the investigation on Nano Sunni Powley went close to Andrew Cuomo, the anti-corruption task force disappeared. Isn't that amazing? I know what Trump was trying to do with the Israeli peace deals with Bahrain and the UAE, and he was trying to fix 20-something years of bombing the shit out of the Middle East. And I don't blame him for trying to do that, but we did a lot of favors for Israel. Did he not endorse Netanyahu and told Israelis to vote for him? That's a snake and a half, isn't it? That's a real kick in the balls. All right, guys. Wow, I've been blabbering for 2 hours. I did not even play a video. Can you believe this? What a lousy host I am. I didn't play one video the entire time. Be sure to catch Victor and myself on Thursday. Victor will be here. So you can listen to both of us blather on for 2 hours. It's very interesting talking to Victor from the Victor Show, Victor Von Shroom, or the Shroommeister, or what else is he called? Anywho, that'll be Thursday at 6:30. Don't forget about our contest, 500 to D-Live, so we can give away those T-shirts finally on a Wheel of Death. You'll get 2 T-shirts. Don't forget. So, share out that show. And I do have our... since Ben K. Veritas talked about I better be learning to speak Russian now. Here you go, Ben. We're going to be, if Joe gets in, we're going to become a socialist country. That's for sure. Regardless of what he keeps saying. Because this country will be infiltrated with as many refugees as Joe can sneak on a boat, plane, rubber raft, a tire tube. It doesn't matter. They are crossing the Atlantic and coming here. So just go to your Twitter feed and throw some kind words to Donald Trump. And if it was me, I'd be like up all night, never getting any sleep, pacing around, wondering what the hell's going on next. How are we doing with our lawsuits? Are they recounting ballots? Are they ballot canvassing? Putin, I think, would love us as refugees, Ben K. Veritas. You know, I still am very, very hopeful Trump can pull it out. Thanks to a lot of smarter people than the FBI and DOJ on social media and the internet. They are finding one thing after another, so we'll see. But Thursday, if you want to call in and talk to Victor and I will have the Discord open and drop the link. Thank you all for listening to me rant for 2 hours. Holy cow. No videos. What a lousy host I am. But it was interesting and fun. And we'll see what Victor has to say on Thursday. Go follow Q. Just go over to his Twitter timeline and tell him you're praying for him. Don't forget, he's a human being. And I think he's a good guy.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Thank you for the diamond. Thank you, Phil. God bless America. Absolutely. I think he's a good guy. And I think he'd appreciate it. So, from the stories I've heard about him helping people fix a flat tire to paying their mortgages, he's not the Hitler we were told. So, go and give him some kind words. He's a human being. He's not a god. He's not always playing 5D chess. He makes mistakes. And hopefully everything works out. Boogie Bumper, based Joe Biden literally rubs your kid's ass and takes over the courtyard. Yeah, get ready for another Great Depression. Gas probably $5, $6, $7, $8 a gallon. It's gonna hurt. So I am praying that Trump wins. I am not a fence sitter. You can, whatever. I'm just throwing out different things. Nothing wrong with that. Again, question with boldness. We should always do that. If we'd done that, we wouldn't need Trump. We'd still be watching The Apprentice. Right? If we'd all questioned Bush, even Reagan, Jimmy Carter, if we started questioning everybody, we wouldn't have ever needed Donald Trump. Think about that. We wouldn't be $24 trillion in debt either. If we all joined up and said, no, you're not going to Iraq. No, you're not going into these foreign wars. To create more wars. To create more money for Congress. Because that's what happens. They all get rich off of us. If you don't believe that losing the count and relying on courts is part of the plan, then, yeah, I guess I'm a traitor. That's okay, though. All right, guys, we'll see you Thursday. Join us Thursday. Victor Von Schroom will open up the phone lines and take calls with your questions or commentary. And you can call me a fence sitter and a prick and an asshole. That's okay. I don't care anymore. If it's... I'm about ready to... I don't smoke pot, but I'm about ready to do immersion and just go smoke a fatty and go to Checkers. Don't forget about sharing out the show. Let's get to 541 to go. Now I can give away these damn t-shirts before the moths eat them. Reporting from Bin Laden's cave. Because Boogie Bumper called my studio Bin Laden's cave at one time. I've made improvements to the cave. We'll see you Thursday with Victor Von Schroom. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your Russian national anthem. Coming to an American city near you. I'm releasing that chest now. Kitty. You gotta check your pH, Joe.
we